Good morning. Got a piece of kill cut here, and I'm used to holding up here, but I finally got rigged up a way to put my phone down where you see where I'm working more. And it's real thick. It's got a big old turtleback hump on it, if you can see that. And I'm going to show you how to make a little arrowhead real thin, just using percussion out of something thick like this to start with. I'm going to arrange my tools real quick, what will hit my phone, because if they bump that phone, it's coming downtown. I don't want that to happen. Alrighty, I think I got everything ready. So right now, I'm gonna make me a platform. I'm gonna run a fluting type flake right down the middle of this big hump here. So this port could be, like I say, it's gonna be a little air port. It could be shorter, it don't have to be this long. Not worried about saving length on it, but I'd approach it from the side instead of straight on like this. Okay, now I'm making a little platform. On the platform, I turn this edge back like my thumb's turned. It's like this, and I roll it back. As you can see, it's a platform here that's rolled back. Now I'm gonna grind it real good. I'm using the hollow copper, no lead, nothing, just hollow copper. Taped onto a piece of PVC pipe. EDBO come up with this idea on YouTube. That's what it's called on YouTube. It's called Mega Boppers EDBO. E is in Eddie, D is in dog, and B is in bow. Mega Boppers. We go to YouTube and watch and use this method. I also show how to make these boppers and talk about it. But he's the one that got me started on it. Okay, now I'm going to turn this edge up a little bit more. Got a rounded spot there. I had to tap on it about 10 times to get it to roll over. Now I got this big bopper. It's normally too big for something this thin, but I'm holding it tight and I'm hitting it, and I'm trying to drive these flakes all the way across. You saw where the hump was. Well, the hump's gone now. Look how flat that side is. That quick. So now I got a hump over here, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna turn this edge up, make me a platform. What I mean by turning the edge up, let's say it's straight like my thumb. All right, I'm gonna roll it back like this. It's straight, and I'm gonna roll it back. So when I look up, this is what I'm hitting on. I got a platform. That makes sense. I think I might have had it backwards in that video there. Okay, we got a platform here. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. It's a big old thick platform, but it's turned down. And that plate went all the way across to about an 1/8 to the other side. Now that turtleback hump's going. When I say I'm pressing real hard, I mean I'm shoving it down on my leg real hard. Now then, I'm gonna go to a shorter, lighter weight bopper, because I already got it pretty thin. And right now I'm just trimming it up, getting all the little curves out of it, so I can look at it and see where it needs the most work and most attention to. I'm trying to shape it up like the point I want it to be. Trying to put some shape to it. Old man says, how do you whittle that bird out of that piece of wood? He said, well, I cut away everything that does not look like the bird. And he says, it looks like to me y'all get some shape to it sooner or later. He's looking at it like he just whittling on a chunk of wood, but he knew what he was doing. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can tell how thin this was. This thing had a hump on it like a 1/2 inch up. And within just minutes, we've got it removed. Now I'm gonna show you something that I do, and a lot of other people do, and you don't notice it, but tell you some good nappers. For instance, Jason Newman is one of the best nappers that makes his stuff super thin using indirect percussion. Eddie Lee Ballard's one of the best I've seen thinning things, and Curtis Smith is tremendously good on thinning points. And what they do is they hit on the flat end of their copper. They have a little short piece of copper, and they hit on the flat end and center that edge with it almost just like that. You watch them. Now what Eddie Lee Ballard does is he's got a piece of copper, and I thought I had one laying here, but I don't see it, so we'll use this here. He uses a solid copper bopper, like this would be solid, and he comes down and hits on the flat part of the side here, like this. So they all got their techniques, but they're using the flat part of the billet. It's not rounded like most people use, like these are. I wore these round. I'm gonna replace them. They're flat. And so what I like to do, watching that, is when I gotta point this in, if it hinges on the other side, it doesn't make any difference, because I can come back from the opposite side and get it out. I like to hit straight into this edge. And by hitting straight into the edge, this is what I'm talking about. I'm gonna split the daggum edge on that thing. I ain't gonna hit it on top a little bit. And I'm hitting straight in. I'm not doing any, what I'm doing is I'm hitting just like this. I'm going straight into it. I'm not coming down like this. I'm going straight into it. And you'll see what happened. Look at that. When it's so thin, if you do that, you're increasing your odds in your favor of not breaking it. Because when you're hitting down like this, you're bending it. And if you hit a little too high on your platform, you'll liable to snap it. So that's something you don't want to do until you got a point real thin, because you'll liable to get some hinges or stacks, or it's narrow where you can come across and get it out. And that's the same thing. Straight in. Don't you look at that plate that come off there doing that. Now that's straight in. Straight in. And when I say straight in, I know daggone well I'm making a little arch or a bend, but as straight as I can get more, I'm trying to go in like this, but as it goes over the side of my leg, it's curving down. I have held them up like this to try to make sure, and it does better. If you hold it straight up between your legs like that and hit this way, it'll do a lot better. Look how flat that joker's got. I mean, that's flat as you could ever want something. And I haven't even pressure flaked these platforms yet. I've been just all knocking them out with this little hollow bopper with no lead in it. But it's on, I think the key to this thing, it makes it so much better. He experimented with some of them, but this type seems to be the best, is the fact that it's on this hollow PVC plastic pipe. And I know they make a bow out of it. They flatten it and make a bow and shoot an arrow pretty fast. I don't know if it's vibration in this thing because or what it is, but I know it works. Now, this is what I'm talking about, holding it flat like that and hitting straight down. That way works too, but when I'm swinging, I'm not as accurate as if I got it right there. I could hit harder and hit a lot better. Okay, this is going to be a short little video. I'm running my saw and I gotta go cut it off. I'm going to thin it up, but I'm not going to do any pressure flaking or notching nothing. I'm just going to get it ready for freeform. And sometimes I sell these preforms like this. So if you're ever interested, send me a message on Facebook. It's John Tuttle on Facebook. I'll be glad to make you some. All you got to do is thin them a little bit more. Or I make them as thin as you want them, and then you just pressure flake them. I just like banging on rocks. I'm gonna try it like this. See if you can tell how thin that joker is. Got a couple of high spots right in here. Now I'm gonna pressure flake these because I don't want to lose any width on anything. So hold your horses. I hope this phone don't fall. I got I didn't realize I had this pressure flaker behind it. It's kind of I thought I moved everything. All right, we made it. Okay, now I'm gonna run some pressure flake, make me some good platform. I'm trying to use a different angle on this camera. I am no photographer. I've never owned a camera. And I've been kind of doing it straight on. And if I notice I'm coming this way, maybe you can see more detail. I try to explain what I'm doing, but I'm hoping it'll help. All right, now, I got the platforms turned this way. I'm gonna grind them, and I don't need that big a bopper. I'm gonna use this little bitty one right here. That's where the flake went and come off. Where the flake went and come off. Another one. All right, I'm gonna straighten the edge up real quick. And we're gonna, old saying is we're gonna call in the dogs and be on fire, the hunt's over with. If you'd like some preformed thin like this, or maybe a little thicker, just let me know. And I'll fix you some up, and all you gotta do is pressure flake, and I'll help you learn on your pressure flaking skill. One thing I didn't do, I didn't straighten my base out. It was real wavy. I noticed there were some high spots, because I didn't straighten it out and look at it. I was trying to get through because my saws fixing to cut off. I hear it winding now. All right, I'm gonna thin the base real quick. Now, if you'll watch these guys when they're thinning the base, if something's real thin like this, they don't hit straight in, right in the center, straight down it. They hit on angles, because the shock's going that way, like I'm hitting this way. See, that flake went that way. And you can thin your base most of the time without breaking it if you're pretty accurate with your swing, or set you up a good platform where you're accurate. But anyway, my saw just cut off. That's the way you thin the base. So I'm gonna go ahead and straighten everything out. I gotta go get me some beans too. It's lunchtime. Old fat boy needs to eat. But people are always putting on Facebook, how did I learn flint knife? How did I learn flint knife? You really need to get with somebody. I did. I drove all the way to Texas. I drove 12 hours to learn how to flint knife. I already knew how, I taught myself, but I didn't know anything about heat treating. And I was using a hammerstone. But anyway, I learned a lot from some of the guys, Mr. J.B. Stahlberger and some of the guys out in Texas. Many years ago. A lot of water's been under the bridge. Most of my brothers out there in flint knifing have passed away. Some of them years ago. Great guy. Mr. Stahlberg, one of the finest men I've been around. Don Calberg was another one. I hate to start naming them because you leave them out. I never will get one day. I went to a nap in that Don Calberg had at his place in Texas. And I got there kind of late that evening. A lot of people already there that day. And he had these big old double doors going into the shop. When I walked in, this big old man in overalls was sitting there in a chair, and it looked like he was pouting, like he mad about something. And I introduced myself to him. He said, Bill Metcalf. I said, Mr. Metcalf, nice meeting you. I said, how's it going? Oh, I guess it's going all right. I said, well, you look like you lost your best coon dog. He said, I'm going to learn to flint knife. These guys are busy doing other things. I come over here to learn how to flint knife. And I said, well, Bill, I'll work with you. Boy, he lit up like a Christmas tree. And I spent about 10 o'clock at night, just like 6 in the evening, working with him, and then spent all day the next day. And then I had to come home, and I think, I don't know who it was, another one of those Texas nappers with some great guys. They were helping him when I left to come home. But old Bill come quite a good napper, and he did demonstrations at schools and scouts and everything like that. All right, I'm going to run some more thinning flakes right here. Thing looked thin until I started pressure flaking on it. But that's what it's all about. Boy, so many people willing to help. Naturally, you're going to have some that don't want to share anything. It's all about money, one or the other. I learned a long time ago, money's not going to make me happy. It might help, but it sure not going to make me happy. Only myself can do that. I got a little high spot. I'm going to keep on finish this thing. I get started on something I hate to quit. I don't know about y'all, but it's hard for me to put it down. But it is kind of thick right in there. All right, I'm going to see what I can do here. My pressure flaker is slipping. It's the only one I got. I don't see my Allen wrench. I usually try to have everything ready, but I know it's going to slip. Maybe it's staying there long enough to, when I apply pressure, starts sliding up, the little screws are loose. And a hard time running pressure flakes over this tray because of that. Well, it started holding then. Maybe it got to a little rough here. That screw caught. Just right here on the point. It's just I didn't notice it either. I had a little hinge. I should have got it out earlier. There's a little hump on the point. There we go. That's making it look a lot better. Well, Christmas is over with. I hope all y'all had a great Christmas. Hope you have a good New Year's. Kind of worried about that myself, and I'm going in detail or anything, but woo. You don't like what I say, don't watch my videos. But I believe our country's on its last leg of having freedom, and that's sad. And what's so sad about it, I've been to third world countries, and I know what socialism will do. Everybody that's poor ought to go spend a month in Haiti or Ecuador or Mexico, any of those third world countries. Well, I was in a town in Ecuador, up in the Andes Mountains, the highest town in the mountains, called Riobamba. I guess I'm pronouncing it right. Those people lived basically in tin and cardboard houses, the whole village. It's almost like that. Now, there were some houses there, but only the wealthiest people lived there. And their gum food was very scarce. Grocery stores had very little groceries in them. You go in there and be just aisles and aisles, shelves and shelves empty. And what was so bad when you go in a grocery store, they have police officers that follow you around with shotguns in their hand in case you decide to steal something to eat. That's how bad it was, guys, I'm telling you. Might not be like that now, but about 20 years ago when I was there, that's the way it was. Okay, I got this little baby straightened about as much as I am. I thought about doing another row of thinning plates, but I tell you what, let's do another row of thinning plates. That saw can wait on me. Ain't that big a hurry to cut another rock. Let me make me some plat for her. Make it a little narrow and see if we can get it thinner. Now, I pressure plate these things thin, but I use my issue stick, or see how much that tip I've lost? Every time I push straight in, it keeps going down. As long as I'm sideways, it's okay. But I just want to show you can do it by percussion. I've had people ask me to, people also asked on groups, flint napping groups and stuff, is how thin a piece can you do percussion work on? Yeah, I don't know. Guess it depends on the individual. But using this method, I'm gonna go down the center and thin that baseball board half. But using this method, I'm telling you, you can cut the dice pretty doggone thin. Without rolling snake eyes. Snake eyes is when you break it. Look at me hitting on the point like a nut. I hate to get that pressure plate right. I'm gonna put around and break this point. Alright. I want to do the other side pressure plate and make it flat like this one. It's still got a little convexity in it right down through there. I just see a place I might can hit if I get a small enough bopper to take some of that out. I did. Got a good bit of it. There's another place right there. Alright, now I got myself in trouble. Got no one to hold and one to fold them. I hit that one this way and it was too weak and it hinged right there, and I can come across that way and get it out, but I'm gonna try to go down the middle just to show you how good you can hit straight in the middle, well, off to the angle, but hit in the top part of the base part. And it almost went. It didn't hit it quite hard enough, it didn't reach it. I'll be done. Okay, pressure flaker, don't fail me. Stay out there. It stays like a turtle. Keeps getting his head further up in the shell. I don't blame him. If I was getting pushed against rocks like that, I'd be trying to find some place to put my head. But what I was saying a while ago about traveling to learn how, man, you can go to YouTube or anywhere and learn how to flint knap.